What is going on? We are back, baby. Happy Monday. Welcome to the extras. Running a little late. I'm getting set up here. What is going on? Got a couple people in the chat. Appreciate you. It's like Nance was first today. Freaky fast, he says. Tasty blue wires. So fast it's hazardous. You may be faster than the hazardous sound effect can load up. Hold on.
We're considered a hazardous building.
There we go. All right. Becky in there as well. What is going on, Becky? Hope you had a great weekend. Big weekend in the bowling league, so that's awesome. Man, my headphones sound kind of weird. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Nan says, oh, Meat should just say last when she gets here. Hey, she's doing her best. This is right around dinner time. I'm late today, too, you know. We're doing our best. We're all doing our best. Crooked Orchids in the chat. What's going on, Crooked Orchids? Hope you had a good weekend. Becky says, sure did. That's right. They're going to put your name on the wall over there soon. Man, I should have told our buddy Will about this one, because he is just getting into using one of these apps. And Meech in the chat, what's going on, Meech? Happy Monday to you as well. Hope you had a great weekend. Looks like you got to hang with the fam, which is awesome. Love that. Happy kiddos. But, yeah, so I don't do Black Magic in the chat as well. What is going on? He says, yo, happy Monday/Wednesday. I hope everyone had a great week. Happy Monday to you as well. I, hope your weekend was good. Didn't you say you were going out of town? You went, Black Magic, you said you were going somewhere this weekend, right? Or was that last weekend? You went to the Suns game? Maybe I'm misremembering. Nance trying to burn me when I'm not even here. She says, can you even blame me? Well, me just no, Nance, I already know you're obsessed with me, and I can't blame you. Hey, no one can. But yeah, I was saying I should have asked Will here, because I don't do a lot of betting on these apps. I do it once in a while for fun. But, like, really, I don't have time to follow sports like that. So, I feel like, just an outsider's perception, I feel like you have to kind of follow sports a lot and, like, really know what's going on to be able to be good at betting, or to make money at it. But then I started to hear that even if you make money at it, it really doesn't matter, because these betting places do not like people who win. So I did some TikTok investigation, because I heard, rumors in comments on another video, and it led me down a rabbit hole, as it often does. Obsessed, that's right, Nance. Black Magic says, no, nothing coming up this weekend. I went to a Suns game a while back. Oh, that was 2 weeks ago, yeah. Oh, okay, you saw the one on TV last week. I got you. That's awesome. I have not been to an NBA game ever. Seems like that would be exciting. I've been around basketball my whole life, and betting still seems like mostly luck unless you're making safe bets. I agree. And when you make the safe bets, they make sure that you're not going to make a lot of money. Now, I would never have experienced any of the things that we're about to talk about because I make really small bets. Like, the few bets I've made, I'll bet like $5 or maybe $10. And a lot of times, I just do something real simple. Oh, he says, I never miss a Suns game. That's awesome. Meech says, I gotta get Baby Daddy on the stream because he's in it. Okay. See, okay. So there's one side of this where if you are a big spender on these apps, they will put you in the high roller club. Okay? They send you like little fancy trinkets that say, whatever, FanDuel, DraftKings, Caesars, whatever. It says the company branding is on it, or they'll get you tickets to a game or something like that because they know that you spend a lot of money with them, right? Well, apparently that is just for people who lose, because if you win big, and if you even get paid, because a lot of times they'll stop it before that even happens, but let's say you do win big, you're not going to win big again. They set the odds, and you agree to the odds, so I feel like, it's a tough thing to go back on, because if you lost your bet, they were never going to cancel it and say, oh, you know what, that wasn't a fair bet, let's give you your money back. But if you win big on them, they're really fast to change the rules, and I didn't know that this was even legal. So I got a bunch of examples here that I didn't even know that this was possible. KO says, no kidding, that's only for losing. Yeah, exactly. The thing that I was talking to Will about was the promo money that they give you, okay? So when you sign up for these apps, if you've never signed up for one before, you can get a promotional wager. So you put $25 in, and they're going to give you like $200 worth of bets, right? That sounds awesome. What a deal. They're going to give me $200 for $25? Well, the reason they'll do that is because they know that you're probably not going to win. So it's pretty safe. But they bury a lot of rules in the fine print. So if you do win on those promotional bets, it's not like you can just cash that money out right away. So we'll talk about that too. Nance says there's a reason they can have these huge stars advertising them, sponsor stadiums and everything. They surely ain't losing money. No, not at all. Meech says, he still might also just have a bookie. That is the way a lot of people go, and they will bet with like offshore books, which a few guys mentioned doing that. And if you win a lot, then you definitely have to do that. And if you regularly bet larger amounts, people tend to use like an actual book and like call their bet in versus using DraftKings or FanDuel or whatever. I don't want to sound like we're slandering just one company, because I think they're all about the same and they're all doing this stuff. And I have examples from all of them. So, or at least the three the big ones that I'm aware of. I'm sure there's other ones. But yeah, so they definitely make it seem like there's a chance, that you might win some money. And, sorry, I got Photoshop open over here. Okay. But when you do win, all of a sudden you're gonna need a law degree, okay? Meech says he's so smart, but so dumb. A lot of bettors are, and that's why sportsbooks make money. That and being able to have an uncanny ability to predict the odds in every situation. Like, it is absolutely insane. If you do these, like, prop bets, I don't want to get too deep into the lingo because I know not everyone gambles. If you are betting on, let's say, a player to get a certain amount of passing yards in an NFL game, whatever the number is, okay, they'll set it at, like, 44.5 yards, okay? So if you say he'll get more than that or he'll get less than that, 44.5 is the magic number, right? So you bet, you're like, 44.5? He had 300 last week, 200 the week before that. He's definitely gonna have 44.5. He's gonna have 144.5, right? Easy bet. And then the game happens, and he has 43.5 yards. I don't know how they're doing this. I'm sure there's algorithms and there's calculations and there's averages and AI and all this stuff, but to me, it seems like sorcery or a scam. And I'm gonna assume it's the latter, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. This is all alleged, of course. I don't know for sure if any of these people are telling the truth about what they're saying, so you definitely couldn't sue me for presenting this opinion that a lot of people have, but just in case, here's the story of Micha's right. He is a mathaholic, so he likes to run his own numbers and thinks he's smarter than the house. You know what? She says it's actually comical, but you're enjoying it, so I get it. As long as it's, I know that with you guys are really financially responsible, so it's like healthy amounts of money that he can afford to lose. It's not like he's like betting your mortgage on it or something. But like it makes it, I do see where it makes it more fun to watch the games, and to, kind of flex those muscles of logic and memorizing all of the stats of all these players and stuff. There's a lot that goes into it. I respect it. I know I could not do that. Same thing with fantasy. I don't know anything about it. I could, but like here's a girl whose husband, Ronnie, he won $12,000 on, I believe it was DraftKings, okay? And he was like, sweet, give me that $12,000. And they were like, oh, that's weird. Do you have an ID? And then he's like, yeah, of course. And then they were like, oh, that ID kind of looks damaged. Do you have another ID? And like, they just kind of like kept stringing him along. And he kind of felt like, they took the bet, no problem. And now that he wins, all of a sudden they don't want to pay. So here is his, I believe, wife to explain.
If you or someone you know plays on DraftKings,
okay,
watch this video and let's talk about how they're scamming people.
Okay.
If not, just keep
coming
scrolling.
right out with it. Allegedly.
My husband and I live in the state of Kentucky, where they just passed where you can bet on sporting with DraftKings, I guess. I don't know. I don't know a lot
about
sports.
She is like at the actual airport. Oh my gosh. Oh, Bad Will in the chat. What's going on? He says, I don't have to worry about that. I'll never win that much. You know what? I'm with you, brother. What I was referring to was the promo money, because apparently, just as an aside before she continues, if you win, let's say you get your bonus bet, right? And you bet like $5 on like a 10-leg parlay and it hits and you win like 10 grand or something, you can't just pull that 10 grand out. You have to, the one guy called it washing it, but basically you have to rebet that money several other times in order to be able to withdraw it. So, winnings off of the promos are really only to be reused on the site. So as long as you understand that that's how it works, it's all good. But they make a big stink about if you want to cash out a big win off of a promo bet, they won't let you do it. Black Magic says, could the ID be for tax reasons? Casinos do that too. They definitely do that, but I think you have to. Don't you have to provide your like real identity on these apps, like your driver's license number or something? I don't know. It's been a while since I signed up, but I can't remember. But that would make sense that they do need your ID in order to pay you out, because they're going to definitely 1099 you or whatever that is. That's a good point, Black Magic. Yeah. Okay, so here she is going to tell the story of her man Ronnie. He won $12,000.
My husband decided to go ahead and try it out and ended up winning $12,000 on it. But unfortunately, since at least October 30th, DraftKings has been fighting him, locked his account, and won't give him his money that he's earned.
They locked his account.
I'm going to show you several screenshots.
She's got all the receipts, y'all.
The first one being October 30th.
Okay.
My mistake, it happened on October 29th is when he won the money and went to go withdraw.
Okay.
So at first you see they're asking for driver's license and things like that. He uploads that, then they ask for bank statements from all of the accounts that he took the money out of. Now, we are business owners.
Now that's interesting. They wanted a bank statement from the account that he took the money out of. So is that to prove that you are the person that placed the bet and that it legally was your money? Like, that seems like weird information to ask for, but okay. Meech says you have to provide your ID when you make your account, so if the ID is a problem, it should have been a problem when the account was made, not just when he wanted to cash out. That is what I thought. I thought you definitely have to give your driver's license, so if they had any sort of qualms about what your identity is, because there's like a huge, if they didn't do that, like the money laundering potential is insane there. So, yes, absolutely. And Will says, yes, the bonus bets screw you. It has to be like plus 300 odds or longer to pay out more than the actual bonus bet. No kidding. I didn't know about that rule. They must have changed it since I did it. Dude, they're constantly, that's the other thing too. They're constantly changing the rules. I have a bunch of new rules. There's a bunch of new rules that they're introducing. Every time they lose money, they make new rules. It's interesting. It's like that one kid you played with growing up, and like every time he loses, he wants to change the rules of the game so he can win. Will says, I cashed my money out through PayPal right after I won my first bet, no issues, but it was only $25. Yeah, the issue comes if it's over, I think $500 is where they start to care about the amount. Because all these people have problems. It's like, it's big money, you know? But I did find one guy who had like $70 in winnings, so I'll show you. I'll show you his. I don't know why they weren't cashing his out, but okay, sorry, bacon strips. Go ahead.
You have a lot of accounts. Whatever, you don't need to judge.
They have a lot of accounts.
But he uploads everything possible.
It's fine to have accounts.
Here he goes. He's uploading the bank accounts, and they say, "Oh,
Thank you for reaching out to DraftKings regarding a restriction on your account." I understand not having the access to your account can be concerning. Yeah, I'd be concerned if I won $12,000 and didn't have access to it. Yeah, I'd be concerned. We want you to know that you are our priority. So our main task is to get you back in the game as soon as possible. Because clearly, you will bet money, and we need you to continue doing that. However, this time we have to pay you, and we have a huge problem doing that. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. We appreciate you took time to upload your bank statements. However, after reviewing your account, I can see this matter needs to be forwarded to our verifications team for further inspection. Oh, okay.
I would hate to be in your shoes.
That's right. Hit the like button.
All of this going on. After reviewing your account, this matter needs to be forwarded to verifications team for further inspection. So, of course, they've got to send it here, there, and everywhere to be inspected. So on November 1st, you can see here, he's asking, like...
when you lose a bet, the very second... Like, if you bet for a team to win and they lose, the second that game ends, immediately, big red X on your thing, money out, nothing, $0 in your account, right away they decide. But you know what? If you bet that team to win and they weren't supposed to win and they win, should turn green right away. Hey, you win! Here's your money! No. All of a sudden they need to think about it really hard.
Something wrong for it to be inspected.
I understand, though. It's awesome
and I'm just
to receive
now,
money.
Like, DraftKings is just doing anything
sucks
they
to
can
have
not
to
give
give
you your money.
I
We
get it.
are showing that, if we were in your shoes, we'd be,
oh my gosh,
concerned,
yes.
whatever it may be.
Such
now they're
the trials
saying, like,
and tribulations.
The original valid document due to your ID being damaged, and we cannot accept it. So now he has to get a brand new ID, even though, it's not that damaged. It just...
Okay, she says it's not that damaged. Okay, maybe his ID actually was damaged, and that was why. But what? So they needed to provide bank statements from the account that the DraftKings money was withdrawn from, which is wild. But okay, after you do that, you get the money,
but it's
right?
Not damaged. And then it's asking for more.
KO says, I have $7 on DraftKings. Watch out, dude, because they will lock your whole account. You're a high roller over there, clearly.
More credit cards or deposits on this, showing that he took the money out of these accounts.
Okay.
I don't think that's DraftKings business where my husband gets his money, and I think they're just honestly trying to...
See, now this is where I disagree with her, because I understand why they would do that for, like, money laundering purposes to make sure that it's legit fundage. Will says, I had $25 in there this morning. Got up to 51 after my bets for tonight. I'm down for 45. Nice. Okay.
To avoid
Number
paying.
Going up is always good.
I'm glad he points this out here. He said that
KO says that was a $2 winner 2 years ago.
DraftKings
Oh,
is not worried about things as long as they're losing, but as soon as they start winning, of course you have to provide all of these documents. You can pause to read. Here's another one. If I were in the same situation, blah blah blah. They're so automated. Come on.
Well, but I get that, though, because it is like a legal proceeding. Now, you think Ronnie gets his money? Here, Bad Will with the fire bets. That's right, dude. That's how you do it, though. You gotta make bets with your initial, rewards. You put 25 in, you get 200, so that's 225 to work with. And you just keep building that, keep rolling it. Yeah, absolutely. Then you never have to spend any money on it. It's free money. Free entertainment. Will says, she definitely looks like she's from Kentucky. Will lives in Kentucky, so he would know. KO says, I'm locked out of DraftKings. You can't take less than 10 out. See, I told you, you won too much. They won't. Some of them you have to get to 100 before they'll let you do a withdrawal. Okay, so here's the stunning conclusion to Ronnie's $12,000 bet.
So just an update.
Holy, okay. Whoa. All right. Total makeup change, hair change, everything change. It's the same lady, I promise.
On DraftKings, I appreciate everyone reaching out and wondering what's happened, and I hope that some people have benefited from my video. We did end up getting our money.
Hey,
it did take a lot of paperwork, and my husband just basically saying, look, if y'all don't help us, I'm going to show up at headquarters and speak with someone who can help me.
Okay, all right.
Thanks for the 20 bandos.
That's right. She got her 20 bandos. I love it.
So yes, we did end up getting our money. I hope people have basically learned from that video not to use DraftKings. But if you still do, just don't give up if they try to tell you or make you jump through all of those hoops. You bet, you earned the money. So don't give up. Don't let them bully you, and just know that, it is possible to get your money back. So there you go.
I got you. I like the purple eyeshadow better. I don't know about you guys. I like the first look. The first variant. Okay. Meech says, did we say what the bet was? Those player prop bets are going to be looked at with a microscope. Yes. And that's going to be the next thing, is I think they're going to take away those player prop bets. Because once a player knows that they, they have access to all of this stuff too. So if you are a basketball player, you could, before your game, get onto DraftKings and look at the prop bets that are about you. So, how many points you would score, how many rebounds you have, all of these things you can bet on, okay? So if you know that the over is 10 rebounds and you have 9 rebounds, are you going to fight harder for that 10th rebound? Or I don't know. It just seems especially in light of the recent NBA scandal, I don't see how they can keep doing these, because it's really obvious that everyone's in on the sports betting now. All of these states have it legalized, so it's a weird territory. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know how they're gonna do it. How they're gonna police this. Will says, I've been doing mostly player props. Yeah, that's how you make money. That's how you win. But even those, they have a crazy ability to pick those numbers, man. They are good at it. Meech says they won't totally take them away, but there will be a cap. Yeah. I think there will be too. They're gonna change the way they do it, and they're gonna make minimums where you can only bet a certain amount of money on certain things. I'm sure, where you can, you have a $5, $10 maximum on a bet that would pay out a lot of money. And that's because, as the betting becomes more ubiquitous and everyone across more states are betting, it's formed an economy of guys who have a Discord, and they do sports picks, and they charge money to be in their Discord, sport Discord, so you can hear what their picks are, or what they're betting on, and people actually pay money to get access to that information, which is insane to me. Like, betting on sports is already a colossal waste of money, and then you're gonna waste money on the... I don't know, dude. I don't... It's crazy. It's not an investment. It's not investing. But yeah, so you have all these guys, and they tend to find similar things, similar lines that they're like, oh, if you bet this, this, and this, you could make X amount of dollars. And sometimes you get these really good parlays, and they hit. And like, when they hit, though, these companies and too many people make the bet, then they're gonna lose lots of money. I have a video about when I forget which one it was, but one of them, they lost like $2.2 million basically after a certain parlay went viral and everyone bet it and everyone hit, and then they changed the rules after that because they lost their shirts on the big bet. Crooked Orchid says, do they cap these sets of bets like lottery? Like people do pick 3 and pick 4 and have sets of bets that can bet 2-2-2 or 1-1-1-1. Now, there is a rule where you can't make repeat bets. So yeah, they do have protection against that, because you could make a series of small bets to kind of disguise or disperse the amount of money that you're spending and winning for tax fraud purposes, so they do look at that. Meech says, people pay for that? I'll just grab Baby Daddy's nerdery Excel sheets and start charging for those. Do it. Do it. I seriously just be like, what's up? What's up, boys? It's this Baby Daddy Sportsbook. You could start your own TikTok and you'd have so many people. Like, and you could even... like, fully, you could just be full disclosure, just reading from your phone, like, what's up, guys? This week, my husband's betting on this, okay? He bet on some guy to win this thing. You just show everybody his bets. I think people would eat that up, dude. They would eat that up. They would eat that up. It's already happening. Lots of people do it. The man who doesn't know how to run our washing machine, but runs his own odds for NFL Week 13. That's right, dude. He'll have his own book. The player point props are already being nerfed. Average points per game will be like 26 points per game, and the bet will be 27 points per game, with odds of -200 or something crazy. Oh man, see, that's crazy. Like, why would you even bet that at that point? Nobody would. She says, if I didn't hate social media, I'd do it. Okay, so check out this guy accuses DraftKings of using their celebrities to kind of make it seem like you can win real money from their bets.
I'm fucking sick of DraftKings. Like, I've had enough. Like, I don't care if Moretta's squirming right now because they'll never get it. I can't. They don't take a bet anywhere at any location anymore. It's impossible to get like anything done, and they'll give people like this, the DK partners and that, to look like they're a real book.
Okay, so that was Dave Portnoy betting $20,000 and winning $350,000 if you missed it.
I'm sorry. It's been getting real. Just like they're a real book.
I keep missing it.
And that to look like...
There. Okay, so the odds were plus 1,300. He bet $25,000 and won $350,000. Now, if it wasn't Dave Portnoy, this bet would never have paid out. he would have had to sue them to get the money, and they would have found a way to not pay him, because that's what they do.
They're a real book. I'm sorry. It's been getting real.
I'm just going to say skill issue.
It's gotten real Mickey Mouse over there. I'm telling you, Fluff, and I'm not happy about it. And they still want to, like, I don't know, open some markets and think they're relevant. I'm fucking sick of DraftKings.
Yeah. Okay. So, shots fired over there. I'm not sure who those guys are, but seems like they know about this stuff and what they're talking about. I have no idea. This guy, his account was locked, and they took all of his money. So he couldn't take it.
All right, folks, if you need to listen to this. I don't know what happened. DraftKings, they have just locked my account. Nobody will tell me why. They're saying I
at the stadium
did
right
something
now?
shady, but they won't tell me what. Never done anything shady
so
with
cold.
it. I'm like a small-time player. They've locked it, and nobody will respond. This is absolutely ridiculous.
That's crazy.
DraftKings, please reach out. This is insane. I've been with you since your inception, and just to like lock me out and terminate my account and take my money is insane. All right.
He said he's a small-time player, but he didn't say how much money was at stake. I'd be curious how much money we're talking about here. Because a lot of these places, well, okay, here is, this guy is kind of like a self-styled sports betting expert from TikTok, okay? He has some interesting information too. And he seems like one of these people who bets at one of those like we were talking about offshore where you like call in your bets, you know?
Day one of exposing things about the sports betting industry that nobody wants to tell you because
Day one. Okay. Nance, what car are we looking at here? I mean, like, the color, I'm just like, is this a Pontiac Fiero? I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking at here, but okay. Sorry, I got distracted. What do we got?
if they did, they couldn't take your money. And we're starting off with a heater. Profitable sports bettors don't bet on FanDuel, DraftKings, or Prize Picks. I could list a whole lot more, but the main takeaway is that almost every major betting platform is a scam. If you are proven to be profitable, they will ban you from using their site. Not actually ban you, but limit your bets to $5 or $10, which is just a legal workaround that they do so they don't get in trouble for technically banning you.
Okay. See, I didn't know that. So they don't always ban the people from their websites, but they'll limit you to making $5 bets so that even if you win, they only ever have to pay you pennies. Okay.
Let's add a little bonus secret. Anyone that you see here on social media that's flexing tickets on any of these major sports betting platforms, basically announcing to the world that they are not a profitable sports bettor and that they do not consistently win. Because if they were really putting down $5,000 units on these major betting sites and were actually winning, they would be limited in like 2 or 3 weeks. Would never be able to use the platforms again. The next time you see a handicapper that's like, I made $80,000 last night on FanDuel, you know they're full of shit. If you want more free educational content that's going to make you...
Oh my gosh, link in bio. But okay, so I meant to look at the comments on this girl's video because there were so many people... Oh, wait.
If you are a Katie Van Site, if you or someone you know plays...
Tons of these people are having the exact same problem. She says, oh my god, this happened to me. Who did you contact to finally get the money? I'm having this problem right now. Please help. I'm going through the exact same thing. They do everything they can just to not pay the money they owe you. They have no problem taking the money, though. I'm surprised he won anything. Every time I play, I lose all my money. I'm pretty sure it's rigged. Who does your makeup? I'm dealing with this right now. My buddy hit 10K, cashed out, and a month later, they took it back and said, they determined that he was playing in an unauthorized area and they closed his account. He was in his Wi-Fi where he's played for months prior to. Insane. Same thing is happening to me right now. No, for real, because I haven't been paid yet. How do you deal with the runaround? I've sent 11 pictures holding my ID. See? The ID thing is real. This person says that they had to send in 11 pictures of their ID. That's crazy. That's right, Meech. Hashtag link in bio. You can't escape it. It's a plague. I'm going through the same thing for over a month. They keep saying the same thing over and over. Can someone help me with this situation? And no one is saying, hey, I got my money. Nobody's saying that. Everyone's saying, Caesars did this to me for $5K. It's not even that much money. Yeah, like, man, it's absolutely wild. I don't understand how they can get away with not paying people and that people still do it. But they do have a lot of fine print. And they use that to their advantage, and this guy found out.
Day 2 of exposing secrets in the sports betting industry that nobody wants to tell you, because if they did, they wouldn't be able to take your money. You ever heard the saying, if it sounds too good to be true, it's probably not true? The biggest example of that is new user deposit bonuses, profit boosts, free play, anything that's like deposit $5 and get $150 in bonus bets. That shit is the biggest scam. What a lot of people don't realize is there are massive rollovers on that amount of money that you get. If you get $100 in free bonus promo, you have to bet that $100 3, 4, 5 times before you can withdraw it. Sometimes even up to 15x rollovers. So this free money that they're
15 rollovers is crazy. Why would you have to bid it 15 times in order to get your money back? It seems to me like it's all cut and dry when they win. But if they lose, then it's a big problem.
Giving you isn't free money. I'm definitely oversimplifying it a little bit, but the biggest takeaway is if you see some promo on a sports betting app that's giving you a bunch of free money, go read the fine print a little bit more and you'll see that it's pretty much bogus money that you can't withdraw. Anyways, my name...
All right, that's awesome. Crooked Orchid says these poor people. Yeah, I feel bad because I feel like a lot of people are doing this at an unhealthy level, and like the one lady went viral because her husband like stole her and her kids' money and like spent it all on DraftKings or something. She actually got some of the money back in that case, but I don't know what rollovers are. Yeah, that totally sucks. That isn't free money. Basically, he's saying, like, if you won $1,000, you'd have to rebet that $1,000 3 or 4 more times before you could actually pull out the $1,000 in cash because you won it off of a bonus bet, which I think is disingenuous. You know, if you're gonna have rules, you gotta go by the rules, and it's crazy because they're the ones setting the rules in the first place. But yeah, so there's this other website called Prize Pick. And this girl thought she won it big on Prize Pick.
So when was somebody gonna ever tell me that Prize Pick had a new update that you gotta spend $100 just for you to get a withdrawal request? Why y'all didn't tell me about this fucking update? It's very bad enough I gotta wait every other day.
Wait, she said you have to spend $100 on the site in order to put in a withdrawal request. So if you made a bet with $50 and won $2,000, they wouldn't give it to you because you hadn't spent enough money with their sportsbook. That's illegal. That's got to be illegal, right?
Request a withdrawal, bitch. Now I gotta spend $100.
Yeah,
just to get my money.
That's crazy. she's saying F that and Drewski. Drewski, I believe he's a comedian, and I think he did a promo for this Prize Picks. But that's shady to me too. Like, how are you gonna? You have a minimum spend, and guarantee they're not going to tell you about that minimum spend until after you have already won. Because if you lost all the money, it'd be totally fine. They wouldn't have an issue with that. This guy, he hit his parlay, and his whole account just got banned.
Has anyone else dealt with their DraftKings account randomly?
Oh boy, dude, that ceiling texture gives me a headache. Lord have mercy. Okay, go.
Being banned. I downloaded it about a month and a half ago when I turned 21, got a referral code from a friend, and started placing bets. I've never had another account, not my mom and dad's social security number and the rest of my information, none of that. Okay. This is my one and only account.
Sure.
I hit a monster UFC parlay, and I have no idea if that has anything to do with it, but shortly after, my account was under review. After constantly emailing them, I finally got a response today saying they'd look into the issue. I got an email back saying my account was ineligible for reinstatement, and after asking them why the entire day, I still have yet to receive a legitimate reason, or any reason at all, honestly.
So, he hit his parlay. Monster parlay, bro. And they banned his account, and they said they won't reinstate it. Now, I was really curious. This must have been huge. This huge monster parlay must have been huge for them to ban his account after just this one bet, right? This guy says, "Thou shalt not win. What's a monster parlay?" And the original creator says, $10 to win $370 and change. So they banned this man's account for $370 and win. That's crazy. That's wild. Like, you'd think it's mostly like the big fish, like that lady won 12 grand. No. He couldn't even get $300. Absolutely nuts. Okay, so this one is about the withdrawal options.
So I finally get my ID, my PayPal connected to the TT, and now I don't even have the option to withdraw. Y'all really make people jump through hurdles to get to that money, huh? Heard. So
how can they do that? How can you say that they don't have an option to withdraw? I just, none of this makes sense. This guy has what he calls his friend had a mid 5-figure balance, and they wouldn't take, so 50 grand in his account, and they froze it. Oh, KO says, "Oh, I thought it'd be 39K. I know, right?"
Another day, another dispute with a sportsbook, and this time around, it's with FanDuel.
This is
Imagine winning over $200,000 on a bet, seeing
God.
Another day, another...
This is Brian DeFranco on TikTok. Sorry, I wanted to give his name. I thought you had to have all that set up before you even bet, right? That's what I thought too. Okay, so here is this guy's story of FD Sportsbook, which I guess is FanDuel, holding a mid 5-figure balance with no reason given.
Dispute with a sportsbook, and this time around it's with FanDuel. FanDuel is actually my favorite legalized sportsbook, but I definitely don't agree with how they handled this situation. This tweet behind me, this is from Hitman. He's pretty well known within the gambling space, and I believe he tweeted this last month. So at that point, FanDuel was holding a mid 5-figure balance that they refused to pay out.
Yeah, that's what I thought. ID verifications in the beginning.
He requested a payout.
You have to do that before you can even bet.
FanDuel refused to send the funds, saying that there was suspicious activity on his account and that he had to verify his identity. identity. He sent a photo.
We have detected suspicious winning activity on your account. If you were losing money, that wouldn't be suspicious, but when you start winning, that's very suspicious.
He did everything that they asked, and he just did not hear back from them. Now, he also mentioned that this just wasn't happening to him. There was other people that they were suspending their accounts. They were refusing to send the payouts, stating that they need to verify their identity, even though all of these people sent in their photo IDs. That alone is pretty ridiculous, but what makes it even worse is just the lack of customer service and lack of response from FanDuel. I mean, they're the biggest sportsbook, if not one of the biggest sportsbooks in the United States, and for them to just
honestly,
not reply or provide any type of update in weeks or months is something that just can't happen in the regulated market. Hitman provided an update this week stating that after 4.5 months, FanDuel finally got back to him. They banned his account for no reason, but they did in fact send the money to him. The ironic thing about this whole situation is that if he requested a payout from one of the reputable offshore sports books, he would have had his funds in about a day. You would think it would be the same for the legalized books, but unfortunately that's just not the case. We're getting to the point where the offshore books are more reliable than the legal ones. Another day, another dispute with a sports book, and this time around it's with FanDuel. FanDuel's actually my favorite league.
Oh, KO says, this is going to be me one day once I get back into DraftKings. I'm going to go for the 29-leg parlay. Kids could be betting. Yes, that's right. The poor children's. I guess that makes sense that you send in your ID or whatever, but it seems suspicious that they really only ban accounts that are winning. Like this teacher.
Imagine winning over $200,000.
$214,000 on BetMGM. And BetMGM was like, yeah, it's an obvious error.
On a bet, seeing the funds in your BetMGM account, and then the next day BetMGM just completely takes them away. Well, that's what happened to this school teacher in Virginia. Chris
says he placed 3 separate single game parlays at 66-1 odds, and the app said he won $214,500.
Benton's a teacher in Virginia, and he placed 3 $1,000 same-game parlays on a Women's World Cup match. They were around 70-1 odds. All 3 of them hit, and he won over $214,000.
Wow.
So after seeing his BetMGM balance over $200,000, he initiated the maximum withdrawal amount, which is $100K. After he submitted that request, a few hours...
Hold on a second. So you can win $215,000, but the maximum withdrawal amount is $100,000? That's interesting.
Hours later, he got an email from BetMGM stating that his wagers were now canceled instead of won. When he logged back in, the funds were completely gone. He no longer had the $200K in his balance. They did return him the $3,000 from his initial wager, but his large win...
So if he hadn't won, I really doubt whether he would have got that $3,000 back. It's really interesting how that
winnings were gone. And the only thing that was mentioned in the BetMGM email was that there was a, quote, obvious error in the odds that he wagered on. From the sounds of it, he was using some prop bets for corner kicks, and they were stating that those odds were obviously inflated. The main problem with this is that
But the odds are their odds. So how can you get mad at a guy for betting on your own terms that you pick?
If this bet would have lost, he wouldn't have been refunded. They would have never known that there was a, quote, obvious error, and they would have just taken his money. So BetMGM was essentially free rolling. If they won, they were going to keep his money. If they lost, they were going to find a way not to pay him. And of course, that's what they're doing here.
That's nuts, dude. That is nuts. Like, and he bet $3,000 too. That's, and what if you didn't get your money back? KO says that's crazy. Sports betting is effing crazy. I know, dude. Like, some of these people are spending big money though. Yeah, how double-decker pissed would you be? Oh my gosh, man, you think you have 200 grand and then they just give you your 3,000 back? I'd be suing. I'd be suing for sure. And he won it. But you know, they only play fair when they win, which is interesting. Okay, this is the story I was talking about where FanDuel lost a bunch of money when everyone got on this one parlay, so they changed the rules. This just happened in August.
I mean, in all honesty, this should be the end of FanDuel. Like, this alone should make everyone stop using the platform. So basically what happened was people started talking about a possible parlay, and it got circulated on the internet by a lot of people who are very good at betting.
That's right,
and
KO.
a lot
Cancel.
of people made that bet. And FanDuel, as a result, lost over $2.2 million, which is gambling. But in response, FanDuel immediately made rule changes that will now allow them to not pay gamblers who hit big after tailing heavily followed parlays. Basically,
so if a bunch of people won, or a bunch of people bet something, and you bet that because other people bet it, now nobody wins. Which is nuts. Because in the app on, well, I don't know about FanDuel, I have DraftKings, it will say, hey, 2,500 people have bet on this parlay. So now, that's a disadvantage, because if it hits and too many people bet on it, then it's not going to pay out at all. Well, it does pay out, but what it does is, I think he explains.
they're saying that if a lot of people have made this bet and you choose to make that bet, they don't have to pay. Nice beard,
by the way.
Like, what they're going to do is they're going to take the maximum winnings of what would be one person and then make everyone share that amount, basically making it so it's not worth making the bet anymore. Because the total payment of all those bets combined will be limited to one single maximum winning. This is basically FanDuel saying, that's crazy. Too many people bet something that won, so we don't want to pay those bets anymore. We don't want to have to pay bets on people being able to communicate online about good bets. No, we need most of our people to lose. And if people talk online
that's how
about
they
a
make
good
money.
Bet, we don't have to pay you. Yeah, I'm sorry, if you're still
that's
going
wild.
to use FanDuel, then I hope you never get paid. Because this should end.
I don't see how that's legal. I think they can sue KO. Yeah, they definitely can sue, or they could go to the like the state gambling board or whatever. Yeah, his is not as gray as mine. That's right. Thank you. But this guy this guy was just in the news not that long ago, and I thought this story was absolutely insane to round this out. Okay, he figured out a little something that the sports books were overlooking, where this is kind of complex, but basically what he's looking at is the year-over-year odds for a certain team. So when they say next year their odds are X, this is what happens. This is what he was betting on.
Caesars thinks you all are suckers at betting at football, and because of that, they aren't paying out someone's $800,000 bet. There's a very interesting story that has been developing over the last couple of days, and as we learn more about the details, it's very interesting to see what happened to this bettor, specifically in the state of Indiana. So buckle up, because this one has a lot of twists and turns, and
is the
right
guy's
now
name.
where we're at with it is even more disturbing. So this bettor, Thomas, had a really sharp premise going into the college football season. And that premise was basically, I'm going to use the fact that I believe that teams in college football will severely drop off in the upcoming season relative to who they were last year. The look-ahead lines for the season are based on the current price of those teams. Let's think Michigan, right? Michigan won the national championship 2 seasons ago. Going into this season, their look-ahead lines are going to have them as favorites to a ton of games. Now, what this bettor was trying to take advantage of was that these look-ahead lines are not pricing in the turnover of these teams, and therefore those look-ahead lines are inflated. So this is where the twist comes in.
Pricing in the turnover of the teams, meaning every year college roster, there's different amount of players. Okay, different
So
people
in order to
graduate,
take
other people
advantage
come
of
on the
this,
team.
Instead of
this guy's saying
just
basically
flat betting
it's probably going to go
look
down.
ahead lines, what this bettor opted to do is make really big 12, 10 leg parlays and parlay
On
all
all
these
the
teams
teams
together that he thought were going to be or were
Yes.
currently overvalued
Yes.
and would, subsequently be, mispriced in the future.
So in order for this to work, these 12 leg parlays, 12 teams would have to do as poorly as he had bet in order for him to get paid out. And the way he did this was he made a bunch of small plays. And normally you're not allowed to do repeat bets, but he was doing it from a kiosk and trying to slide under the radar. So he was a little bit trying to game the system. So it's not really as cut and dry as the other ones, but I thought it was insane because this guy is smarter than these big companies, and they're just mad about it. So this is probably going to get claimed, but this is a CBS Jesus Christ, dude. I cannot with these ads. Okay.
Something suburban man who won $800,000 in sports bets. He traveled as far as Iowa to place his bets. Then when it came time to cash in, the casino said, no way. Our Suzanne Lemonnier is listening to this would-be winner and gives us an inside look at the life of a professional gambler.
These are the winners. I'm holding, theoretically, or what should be $800,000 in my hand.
We meet 24-year-old Thomas McPeak in the home he shares with his parents. An area in their house is a shrine to their favorite teams.
You've read every single one of these books.
Yeah, this was a calculated attack, I guess you could say, where I thought.
Don't call it a calculated attack, bud. When you're trying to get your money, don't call it an attack.
Complicated wagers on football called parlays, where several events all have to happen to win. First stop, Horseshoe Casino in Hammond in August.
You went in with $30,000.
Yes.
Roughly over the course of 1 week-ish.
And your win.
That's the other thing he's doing is he's going to these different casinos. He's like trying to fly under the radar. Okay, that's what advantage players do. They're trying to stay anonymous. They like move around. They go to all these weird places and place bets weird places to try and stay under the radar.
$350,000.
The next stop, the Isle Casino in Bettendorf, Iowa in September. Both locations happen to be owned by Caesars.
I take about $20,000. I sat at the kiosk for 4 hours just punching in my bets. Bet after bet after bet after bet after bet.
McPeak looks...
Now, he is doing this on purpose because if you entered all these wagers into the app, it would automatically flag it and prevent you from making all of these wagers. But because he's doing it on the kiosk, it's not like verifying that all of these are not going to one single person. And that becomes important here in a second.
For wagers where he believes the odds are in his favor.
If you want to take a look at that notebook.
McPeak does extensive research, some of it laid out here in his handwriting.
Okay.
Over time, he and other professional gamblers believe they can gain an edge, but it's hardly a slam dunk.
It's not like I can just snap my fingers and just make the bets win. They still have to win.
Most of the tickets did not win.
That's a lot of
in
tickets.
My hands right
oh
now,
my
these are all
lord.
Losers.
But a few of the tickets were winners. Big time.
And I won $350,000.
But they won't pay it to you.
No, they will not.
McPeak tells us Caesars voided
Wow.
the tickets when he tried to get his cash in October. He says he was referred to the house rules.
Do you think that's fair?
Of course not.
They
just
story when he
voided the
returned to
tickets,
Iowa
y'all.
Casino this January to collect
$450 at the other casino.
For these winning tickets. This time,
And they were like,
he was
nah.
given a printed sheet highlighting structuring or anti-money.
Okay, so the first one, this says structuring. The structuring of wagers to circumvent federal currency transaction reporting thresholds is strictly prohibited. So what they're saying here is that he was attempting to circumvent tax reporting by placing a bunch of small bets instead of one big bet, okay? Like repetitive bets.
Money laundering rules and repeat wagers.
And then repeat wagers, it says Caesar Sportsbook reserves the right to investigate repetitive wagers made from a single account or syndicate accounts with the same outcome. Caesar Sportsbook reserves the right to void or withhold payment of such wagers pending regulatory approval. Pending regulatory approval is interesting. So they, the Congress there would have to approve that? Oh, hold on. But I don't see how this could be a rule, but okay, go off.
Wagering policies.
You want to fly under the radar?
I want to fly under the radar.
McPeak.
See,
like
it
many
sounds like he knew he was breaking the rules,
go out
though.
of their way to remain anonymous. McPeak places a lot of smaller bets at a kiosk instead of one big one with a clerk at the counter to avoid his bets being rejected. Listen to the lengths.
Because if you walk
they'll
in
go
with
to.
20 grand and you say, I want 20,000 on this parlay, they're going to be like, no.
I'll put it up in a bonnet.
Horseshoe and Hammond banned McPeak and avoided his wagers. That's in contrast to FanDuel and Blue Chip Casino in Michigan City, which also banned McPeak after a big win. But Blue Chip paid him first.
They paid me a check
so they actually
of,
did pay.
$127,000. They got
Nice.
me. I won the bets.
McPeak took his gripes to state gambling regulators in both Indiana and Iowa.
So he actually got paid by the one casino. Okay, that's cool. But I mean, like, dude, like, you know you're playing games here. Like, this guy's kind of... I can kind of see the sportsbook side on this. I hate to say it, but like, the other people were just making bets in good faith. This guy is trying to game the system, I feel like.
Iowa. Neither state sided with him.
What would this $800,000 payday mean for you?
It's an insane amount of money.
So we took this case to three
It's a dumb
experts
question,
with
but
three
okay.
distinct points of view. Mike Lawton is a retired gaming regulator in Nevada.
Okay.
There's probably some details and some circumstances that we're not privy to.
Scott Morrow retired
Definitely,
after a career
yeah.
at Las Vegas casinos.
Like with
and
all
now
situations.
teaches gaming at UNLV.
He went around, tried to circumvent the system, circumvent the house rules.
He
and
crossed state
actually
lines.
Drive across state
Yep.
lines to circumvent.
Yep.
So, I mean, I have a tough time finding sympathy for his case.
I've never seen a situation like this before.
Eli Foystill literally wrote the book, multiple actually, on betting. He sides with McPeak, based on the timing of when Caesars voided the bets.
If Caesars had decided before the first game was played to void all the wagers, that would be fair.
Yes.
That would be saying, you've broken the rules, and when they saw that they didn't win, when they waited to see if he'd win before they voided him, that's where the problem was. The clear answer is Caesars owes this.
There's no rules against staying under the radar. It's horrible what they're doing.
Well,
in the end,
it seems
it
like
may
there
be
are
up to a
rules
judge
against
to
it,
decide.
but
McPeak says his
I
next
feel like
step
they should just
would be
pay
to
him.
Sue. Suzanne Lemignot, CBS News, Chicago.
I think it'd be worth suing over $800,000. I don't know about y'all, but if they owed me 800 grand, I'm gonna make noise about it. So I don't know how any of this is legal. This is blowing my mind right now that these people aren't getting their money, but that just shows y'all. All of these, KO says Vegas is shady. Vegas is all shady. Dude, all these betting places are shady. All of these things, it's set up so that they win every time. And if they can't cook the odds enough, then they're going to find a different way, a different reason not to pay you. And having to sue them to get your money back is absolutely nuts. KO says pay the dude for sure, dude. That guy should get his 800,000. I mean, and fine. You want to make rules about it and change your stuff now? Fine. But you have to honor the original agreement. Like that guy was saying. If they had said before the first game of the season was played, hey, all of these bets are illegal. Fine. Give him his money back, be done with it. But once they accepted the bets, and a small detail that happened in this was that one time the kiosk stopped printing in the middle of him doing these. So he had to have them reprint the tickets. And what they did when they reprinted those is they wrote a note on each one that said, hey, we reprinted this because the kiosk printer messed up. Well, in doing that, at least on those ones, they, as a company, acknowledged that those bets are valid. So he might actually get paid on those, but I'm not sure how it's all going to shake out. We'll have to see. It's still working its way through the courts, but yeah, I just, this stuff is blowing my mind. KO says, I was offered to go to Vegas. We will see in January. Hey, it could be fun. Just be careful, because they don't want you to win, and the house is going to win every time. And as we've seen, even when they don't win, they will change the rules. So be careful with your money out there, y'all, and be careful when you're betting with these sports books. Oh my gosh, I hate kiosks, Keno, and stuff. I know, dude, all of those kiosks are like, just stay away from it, y'all. Make good financial choices. Take that money you were going to put in DraftKings and put it in a money market savings account. You'll be really happy, okay? But hey, if you're watching this on the replay and you have a story about one of these companies not paying you out, I would love to hear that. Let me know in the comments. Hit that like button. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Hopefully y'all have a great week. Happy Thanksgiving to y'all. We will be here on Friday, and I hope y'all will be here too. Tell your families that you love them, and have a great holiday. And I will catch you again on Friday for the extras. Peace.